At the heart of every paddler beats a passion for water, competition, and conservation. This unique podcast aims to unite all the paddling styles and stories under one common heartbeat. This is The Paddler's Pulse.
Hey guys, thanks again for joining us at Paddler's Pulse. My name is Greggy. I'm super stoked to spend some time with you. I wanted to do a fun little thing here and just talk about something I like to call vitamin C, but not like C, S-E-A is what I mean, like vitamin C. As this fun, just maybe a little insight into something that might help give you a little information that could be fun at a cocktail party or after paddle at lunch or something like that. So I think we can all agree that there is kind of this sensual, weird, fun force that acts upon us physically and mentally, and I guess for some spiritually, when we're near the water, right? It's this mystical sensation, and no doubt we've all experienced this in a multitude of ways while playing on the water, in the water, around the water. It's this luxurious thing that we get. However, much like Sasquatch, aliens, UFOs, Tahoe Tessie, it's a bit hard to explain at a dinner party, and I'm hoping to change that. Okay, so if you've ever camped beside a river, fallen asleep next to the crashing waves after a surf session, tossed a stone out into a lake, or brought your deepest emotional thoughts to the ocean at sunset, you've felt it, right? This magical presence that water brings in all of its forms. It's a feeling and an interaction that happens with us on a DNA level, right? And it holds this richly ingrained space in our psyche as well. So our awesome ancestors, and I mean like the really hairy ones, were drawn to water. And our prehistoric communities developed and continually thrived around this liquid of life. The magnitude or the multitude of lakes and rivers and streams and waterfalls and the ocean offered us an abundant supply of tasty meals as well as really necessary hydration. It was a matter of survival, right? So it seems pretty natural that we find water to be a central part of our existence, deep within us on a subconscious level even. It's such a critical utilitarian substance. But today, with things like sushi, canned sardines, and water that's literally on tap or in a bottle, how do we still have this primal pull towards water? So I think there's a whole lot more going on here, so I dove into it a little bit. Our physical and our cognitive function doesn't always pick up on this, right? There's a massive amount of data affecting us every single moment of every single day, and I'm thankful that a bunch of scientists took the time to put on their white lab coats and get dirty to explain some of these subtle nuances in the universe to people like me who just want the simpleness of it. So let's look a little closely at some research, and that might help. There's this thing called aquatherapy, right? It's also known as water play, and it's this special flotation type of exercise, or this sequence of flotation exercise that's used for their proprioceptive and tactile input, right, to assist patients that have neurological issues like trauma, brain trauma, autism, things like that, high anxiety. It's highly studied and it's proven to be extremely effective, right? Okay, you want some proof for this, I'm guessing. So do you remember the last time that you came home after a really long day and you washed away the day with a hot shower? Boom, that's aquatherapy. So why? All right, there's these awesome things called magical, I call them magical, but they're negative ions, right? Totally a real thing. And it seems like a strange notion, actually, that the exposure to something negative can have a positive effect on your being, but negative ions do exactly that. Their radical effect was discovered in 1932 by Dr. C.W. Hansel after he noticed the violent mood shifts of a coworker who sat by an electrostatic generator. I wouldn't want that coworker. He observed or discovered that his buddy was pumped and stoked and excited and happy when the machine produced negative ions, and super bummed out, stressed, and anxious when the machine produced positive ions. So, subsequent research found that a boatload of great benefits come from negative ions, including heightened alertness, reduced anxiety, increased appetite, increased thirst, and stimulated sexual behavior. So, it also promotes alpha brainwaves that cross between the left and the right side hemispheres of our brain that heighten our awareness and produce a calming feeling. Sound familiar? So, what does water have to do with it? Okay, negative ions are found in the greatest abundance near bodies of water and moving water specifically. So, lakes, rivers, waterfalls, bays, ocean, crashing waves, and even in the shower. How much do you want to know? Okay, normal ion count in like the countryside, right? In the air in the countryside has a pretty baseline ion count of 2,000 to 4,000 negative ions per cubic centimeter. At the ocean or large lakes, you're going to find over 100,000 negative ions per cubic centimeter. And as a reference point, in polluted air, like just drop up into downtown LA, cities like that might have less than 100 negative ions per cubic centimeter. So get near water and breathe in these delicious little vitamins of air, right? So there's another thing that's pretty awesome too. Speaking of breathing, even the earth can breathe. Well, not literally, okay, but it has this specific resonant frequency that's kind of like a breath or a heartbeat. It's called the Schumann Residents, and it was named after a German physicist who discovered it. This magical frequency is 7.83 hertz, well below the ability for a human ear to actually detect. However, it is scientifically proven that this frequency is highly capable of cascading those awesome alpha waves through our brains. And once a human being and the planet come into resonance, magic happens, right? So just imagine the transfer of energy and information embedded into that little tiny, subtle 7.83 hertz field, right? Not to mention the massive health effects that come with our connection to it. Because let's face it, human beings and the planet kind of have to coexist in this really cool way. All right. But NASA was pretty smart because it figured out that when its astronauts were in space, their health deteriorated drastically by being away from this Schumann field, this resonant field. So to solve the problem, NASA introduced a thing called the Schumann stimulator into all of its space shuttles, a like magnetic pulse generator that mimicked the Earth's frequency, and then astronauts would then feed off of it. So it demonstrates that it's hard to be healthy if we're disconnected from this natural biological frequency. So why does this matter? Okay, in today's ocean of overflowing electromagnetic field, this very special low frequency gets lost on us and we lose our ability to connect with it, right? So enter our liquid salvation. Being on oceans, lakes, bays, rivers, it takes us away from all this electromagnetic field disturbance and allows us to tap back into that sweet 7.83 hertz and chive on. So, guys, it's pretty clear, at least to me, that blue space, I'm air quoting, blue space has the power to radically shape us for the better on so many levels. Researchers have pored over the data of hundreds of studies, and it's quite obvious that large bodies of water and our interaction with them have lasting beneficial effects on us. Benefits that are mental and physical, decreasing anxiety, improving cardiovascular health, even providing relief from things like PTSD, addiction, depression, and it curbs obesity. The list goes on, guys. In this disconnected age, it's obvious to me that our time near water, submerged in water, playing around water, is a natural and simple antidote to daily stress and complexity. Water offers us a reason to disconnect and at the same time reconnect with our primal self. So what are you waiting for, right? Come on, let's go get some vitamin C, S-E-A, vitamin C. And I know for some people it might feel kind of woo-woo, but you know what? There's a little solid science behind it. So know that next time you're on the water, this is what you're getting. You're getting this juicy vibe. It's awesome. So hopefully you guys have a little bit of insight, some fun things about the mystical facet of why we paddle, I guess, and why we want to be near water, at least enough to explain to some non-paddlers at a dinner party. And if you happen to see Sasquatch or an alien or UFOs, tell them I said hi. So there you go, guys. Enjoy your time on the water, and I will see you on the water.
Thanks for dropping by to listen in. You, yes you, are the great people that bring paddling to life. Join us next time, and please don't keep us a secret. Like us on iTunes, share with your buddies, and keep the paddler's pulse pumping. See you on the water.